And welcome to the Champ Is Here podcast. I am, of course, Kevin Cartier, alongside my compatriots
Kaliko McGee,
Corian Paget,
Stevie Boy Smith.
And it is good to be back. First of all, congratulations to Corian, Mr. and Mrs. Corian Pageant. Go ahead, show off that jewelry you got. You know what I'm saying? The happy couple. I was
Appreciate it.
fortunate enough to be there. It was a lovely ceremony.
Great time.
And also, shouts out to Arthur Sinclair. He wasn't able to make it this evening, but he is the current champion, so that's why we don't have the nice
big gold belt. But
we have a gold belt, so I think that'll have to hold us down for now. And also, what's interesting is we didn't really get up last week like we normally do, which was after the Extreme Rules event, if I'm not mistaken. But this week was also the go-home show for Money in the Bank for the SmackDown brand. Yep. So we have a lot to get to, but we'll get there, I promise. Before we get there, let's cover some happenings going on in the news in the WWE Universe. I always like to try to start on something positive if I can. So, recently I saw WWE Cruiserweight and one of the stars of 205 Live, Mustafa Ali, and his wife welcomed their second baby in the world recently. So congratulations to Mr. Mrs. Mustafa Ali.
Congrats.
It's nice getting that WWE money, right?
Yep.
And also, speaking of getting WWE money, I also saw Kurt Hawkins and his wife had their first child, or about to have their first child recently. I think they just had their first child recently. So again, congrats to the Hawkins family. It's nice getting that WWE money, right?
No, right.
I don't know.
I never got it.
I haven't got it yet.
I'd assume.
Yeah, right. All the way. We're on the way, right? But it's just kind of funny though, because I remember he left a few years ago, and he was one of those guys saying, I started a school, and he wanted to go and do his own thing and kind of be happy creatively. And then he came back like a year ago, and they really haven't used him. And then when I saw he had a baby, I was kind of like, oh.
Now we know why he came back.
I mean, why he wanted to, at least. Because I'm pretty sure,
security of it.
Right?
Is,
You got a family on the way and stuff.
A billion-dollar corporation is nice.
So congrats to all, and being on national TV. So congrats to all involved. Second of all, more happy news. Rusev apparently has been cleared to return fully, so we can see him showing up any week now.
Yeah, what happened with him not coming back when he was scheduled? Did he get hurt?
I have no idea. I've heard different things. One of the things I heard was kind of interesting, and of course it might have been tongue-in-cheek, was, he's from the Nashville area.
Oh,
and apparently he was at a lot of those Nashville Predator games. So he's been going throughout the season, and WWE loves that kind of mainstream publicity, that outside love.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, if he's ingratiated himself with that organization and whatnot, I mean, why not ride that?
Yeah.
At the very end. And I mean, if they had won the Stanley Cup, WWE and Triple H would have sent them a belt.
Oh yeah, it would have been. They would have got
a championship, I should say. Excuse me.
I'm just happy to see him back.
Well, what's his name? Eric Young. That's all he posts on his Instagram is hockey pictures.
Stuff?
Yep.
Really? Well, who's he a fan of?
I'm not even sure. Or I couldn't tell you. All I know is he goes to games all the time.
We know you're not a hockey guy.
No, not a hockey guy at all.
He can't tell the difference between the teams. Right?
Don't care.
It was red or blue or yellow. It was one of those two.
Right? There's two teams from Canada. Anyway,
there's Wayne Gretzky, and then there's
everybody else.
Mario Lemieux.
That's it.
I'm a hipster. I gotta. Anyway, so speaking of positive news, right? There's also a rumor that Paige is reportedly training for a comeback now. She's been working out again, posting videos of herself, and she even said that she's going in for her final exam. And this was a few days ago. She's going in for her final x-rays, and if everything looks good, she should be cleared to return, and contractually she's obligated to WWE. So despite everything that's happened over the last year or so with her and other people in the company, it's looking like she's going to be coming back. And this is also fueled by the fact that The Rock is producing a film based on her life.
Wow.
And you didn't know this? They've actually
I've heard of it. I think I've heard of it a little bit, that they were filming a documentary based
No, it's a film. It's a feature film.
Okay, because her parents were wrestlers.
Yeah,
it's based on her family.
It's about her life and coming to America and all that.
Interesting.
But it's supposedly a feature film, and there's people playing and acting, but they've actually done filming at real WWE events. So, again, WWE likes good publicity, so it's a win-win if Paige gets to come back.
Because The Rock was at one of the shows like a month or two ago, right?
But where's her spot in the women's division right now? What brand is she on?
That's what I wanted to ask. She was drafted to the Raw brand originally, but she never appeared on television. Because between the suspensions and the injury, she just was never cleared. Mm-hmm. So, we have a minute real quick. Where would you like to see Paige? Or where does she fit in better? You can say Raw, SmackDown, maybe even send her back to NXT, knock some of the rust off. Where would you put Paige, McGee? Put you on the spot.
Actually, yeah, I'd put her in NXT first. Knock put some of the rest off.
Why's that?
Because I don't think people. They're having a hard time with the women's thing already, so I don't think they're. That's just adding another name to it. So
I think Paige is. Go ahead. What do you think?
Me personally, I'll leave her on Raw because SmackDown, to me, seems to be doing more with their women, and they have a lot of characters and moving parts already on SmackDown. So I'll go ahead and put her on Raw. Leave her on Raw. And right now, Raw is kind of stale in their women's division. You got Alexa, you got Bayley, Sasha Banks has fallen off into intergender matches, and it's like.
And I can guarantee you, if Alexa's cutting a promo and that music hits,
Paige music hits,
big pop.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Well, what about you? What do you think, Steve?
I almost wanted her to go to SmackDown because I feel like the women's roster is better there. Even though Raw's roster is lacking right now, I feel like she would do better work with the ladies of SmackDown.
Okay, so
and just in that environment.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
One more quick question then. Is Paige a franchise star? Do you think, despite everything that's happened, if she comes back 100% healthy, head on her shoulders, she's only 23, 24 years old, can she go on a long, significant run? Can you build... Because I think Charlotte is one of the tent poles of the women's division now. I mean,
of course.
They're gearing up to build her for the long haul.
Yeah.
But I also think she's physically capable of withstanding.
I think she's already built that...
But you have two brands, so you'll need one more. Can Paige be the other? What do you think? Yes or no? We'll move on after this, I promise.
I say no.
She can't do it by herself.
Definitely no. I don't think so.
She can't be a Charlotte.
I think Becky.
Really?
Becky has already took.
I think Paige has the potential to. If she comes back with her head on straight and she's really focused and motivated and wants to be in WWE and make it work, I think she can work with anyone that they have.
I think possibly.
That's a lot of ifs. I don't know.
Yeah,
and it's more her mentally, right? It's more her than anything physical. But okay, we got to move on. We can talk about this all night. So another interesting thing that I noticed this week is 205 Live had a new announcer join the announce team. Vic Joseph replaced Todd Phillips at 205 Live.
I mean Tom Phillips.
Was it Mike Phillips?
It was Tom Phillips.
Tim Phillips.
Tom Phillips.
Joseph Phillips.
Jericho.
Tom Phillips. Anyway, Tom Phillips is not in trouble or didn't have any heat or anything. Apparently, they just want him to focus on SmackDown Live and NXT. So, I mean, are you guys excited about seeing a new face? Any thoughts on the new face?
They're all interchangeable. They're interchangeable to me at this point. I think.
I say some of them are interchangeable.
He resembled Corey Graves without the tattoos.
That's
what we were looking
Not
at.
as good of a tan though. Not as good of a tan.
Tan game ain't strong. He just started making the big money. Give him a chance.
I want every brand to have their own unique feel. So nothing
So you
like
like
that.
That's cool. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Well, especially considering they're playing catch up now after the whole thing with Mauro Ranallo too. So I think originally that was really envisioned with him in mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
SmackDown's prospering right now too. He would have been good if he would have.
But I like Todd Phillips though too. Tom, Mike, Tim. I like Tom Phillips. So
Jeremy Phillips.
So
Phillips Screwdriver.
Right? Is it
Phillip Rivers? I'm not
Tom
sure.
I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, well, congratulations to Big Joseph for getting called to the big show, and yeah, hopefully, long and prosperous career at WWE, and we look forward to seeing what you can do. So, first week, we'll give him a chance, right, guys? So, last but not least, speaking of the big show, the big show was on Talk Is Jericho podcast recently, another podcast I should check out, and he said, and Jericho also agreed with him, that he prefers doing the live shows, house shows, to doing TV because it's funner for him, it's more free, he has a greater creative kind of input, and he can actually go out there and work a match a lot of the nights. Whereas on TV, and we've heard people complain about it, oh, they can never keep Big Show straight. Is he a bad guy or a good guy? Or he shows up, and he'll just punch someone and leave. Apparently he doesn't like that either. It's just him doing his job.
Yeah.
I heard him say, he's like, if you're not going to use me, why have me there? You know what I'm saying? Like, why make me travel and everything?
Right.
So, we've all been to a few shows, right?
Mm.
It's going to kind of segue into what we're going to talk about next, but we've all been to a few shows. Do you prefer TV or do you prefer house shows?
Ooh, that's a good question.
What about you? Have you been to a house show yet?
I have not
we need
been
to take
to
you to a house show.
House shows are more fun in my opinion.
Looser. And I can tell you what happened to the one. I went to the one in
because
Jackson
it's a
recently.
different.
But it goes into the subject.
Shows are so long.
We can. you can already see the difference probably between big shows and house shows. Like you said, it's more easygoing. You know, it's not like cue this, cue that. You can be a little more.
You don't have to get TV spots.
No live TV, no FCC, none of that to worry about. So you're basically practicing your match without PG limitations.
And me and Big Show have dueled before.
But yeah, house shows are more fun because it has more of that old school wrestling feel in the gym. Because it's more of that. It's more of that feeling. Yeah, exactly.
You can feel the crowd out more. Definitely.
With the WWE live events that I've been to that are like TV tapings, they're fun. They're really fun to go to, but they're really long and. I don't know. It's just not the same feel, but you do get to see bigger stars and bigger spots.
Bigger moments.
Yes.
Exactly. What do you think, Corey?
I'd rather be at a live event, or not a televised event. Mm-hmm. Reason being, if I wanted to watch a more intimate feel or something like that, I'd go to an indie show.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, usually at a WWE house show is always good.
Well, I like things to be the best they are.
Okay.
And I mean, the best wrestling promotion is the WWE. If I wanted something, half brought.
Wow.
Are you saying they half bring it?
And I was going to disagree with you.
No, not saying they half bring it,
but bring it a little harder.
Yeah, but
they've actually got more interesting because they have a stage now. There's lighting now. There's not pyro, but there's like steam. It's like NXT has. This last one I went to recently, there was even a cameraman on hand, so they were projecting the match on the big screen. So they were doing it was almost like being at a TV show without being at a TV show. Yeah, it was the one in Jackson. Yeah. So, I actually kind of prefer. I like both. I mean, it's like what Stevie Boy was saying. They're different reasons. But if you had to nail me down, I probably would pick a house show to bring a friend to that's never been before to take them because tickets are more reasonable. We can sit front row, and sitting front row makes a big difference. If you can ever sit in the first 2 or 3 rows, try to. If you've never done it, even just do it once. Go to a house show. It's not going to be as much, $100 tops, and just have fun. Because you're close enough that you can hear what's going on, you can hear the ring, you can hear when they take bumps, but you can also kind of have a little back and forth with them and kind of, do your own thing too. So I actually think a house show is a funner, interactive experience, whereas a television taping is more of an observational thing.
Right.
Like you were saying, there's going to be bigger spots. Brock Lesnar might be there, stuff like that.
Yeah, and then it's just more structured. All right, guys, we're going to be live on the USA Network in 30 seconds.
And I think we've
Get
all
your
done
signs
this before.
together.
We've all done this before. We've been on the show, recorded, and tried to find ourselves.
Yeah,
yes.
So
we're all the biggest marks for ourselves.
Right, pretty much. Got to put yourself over hanging off the rafters every night, right? So cool.
At Corian 1 too.
So that was our first segment. Join us next segment. We're going to talk about WWE Monday Night Raw, the fallout from Extreme Rules, and the build-up to Great Balls of Fire. But that's our next segment. So join us next segment. At Champ is Here Show.
At Champ is Here Show.
At Champ is Here Show. The strongest brand in the land.
Hi, I'm Kevin Cartier.
And I'm Stevie Boy Smith.
And thanks for watching the Champ is Here podcast.
Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Champ is Here Show, and subscribe to our YouTube page at Champ is Here Show.
At Champ is Here Show. At Champ is Here Show. And we're back to the Champ is Here Show. And we're going to talk about Monday Night Raw and the Red Brand, I promise. But before we get there, we have our quick question segment of the day. Today's quick question segment of the day, rapid fire. Usually we have one answer. Today we might have up to 5. The reason why, we'll find out. Who, gentlemen, is the greatest big man of all time in the history of professional wrestling up to this point? Okay? So you might be thinking, well, what's a big man? So we kind of talked about it off screen a little bit. Criteria roughly, you can kind of skid it if you have someone you're really a fan of. At least 6'8" in height, or was it 300 or 350 pounds?
300.
300 pounds. So you can be one or the other, okay? And there's a lot of leeway and lateral there. So we'll start with my man, Corian. I know you think you have more than a number one.
Yes.
Who is the greatest big man of all time?
In my opinion, I was watching an indie guy recently, and I was like, man, it's a lot of these bigger guys doing more cruiserweight stuff, more aerial stuff. And the thing is though, it's like, bro, if y'all added a little more ferociousness to it and stop no selling or doing all these flips over the top ropes and then having these little dudes no sell your moves, Slam them on their head. You know what I'm saying?
So
my favorite right now, I'm on a binge.
all time.
Big Van Vader,
Wow.
the
all
Mastodon,
time. All time.
all time. Right
Number
now,
one.
number one.
I'm
2,
shocked.
You saw
The
hand?
Undertaker.
You saw the hand when he.
I'm shocked right now.
Big Van Vader,
You saw the
number
hand.
one.
I wish,
You saw
I wish
it.
Arthur was here right now.
I actually have, I have a list of 10 guys of who will be
Hit
in my
real quick.
top 10 in no
Go.
particular order. Vader,
Right.
Bam Bam Bigelow,
Right.
The Undertaker,
Right.
Kane,
Right.
Big Show,
Right.
Andre the Giant, the
Right.
Great,
Right.
Yokozuna,
Okay.
Ernie Big Cat Ladd,
Right.
Kevin Nash, who I really didn't want to put on there, but you got to respect what he did. And here's a shocker, Hulk Hogan.
HH brother.
I would take, and you're gonna think I'm crazy. I'll take Psycho Sid over Kevin Nash. I would put
Ooh,
Psycho
good
Sid over-
choice, good
I'll-
choice.
He has the look. He's
Yeah.
a big guy. He can work. When he's not messing up, he can talk.
Yeah.
So I mean,
We're live, pal.
Arguably, his wrestling pedigree is.
but I'll say this though,
close.
because I didn't expect him to say Vader, because Vader's a personal favorite of mine. But my number one big man of all time, The Undertaker, and it's not even close. Go ahead. What do you think, Stevie Boy?
Due to accomplishments, I can see why you put Undertaker
No,
over
but it's also
Vader.
It's also no.
And
It's not even
longevity.
accomplishments. It's not even accomplishments. I'll break it down to you like this. Okay, The Undertaker as a character, as a worker, as a person, as a wrestler evolved over his run. Right, whether for good or bad, whether or not you liked every phase of it, his character changed and evolved. His work rate changed and evolved. His style changed and evolved. He's the only big man that I can think of that as he got older, his moveset got
Stuff
more
changed.
diverse. He started doing the dive over the top rope to the outside after he was like 40. Okay? Vader, as impressive as it was to be the first man to do moonsaults off the top rope, or him or Bam Bam, one of the two, but to be one of the first big men to come off the top rope and to do a moonsault, incredibly impressive. He did a powerbomb that could break a man's back. He's done it before. He's broken Cactus Jack's nose on TV more times than I can remember. Like,
Slapped Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, hurts. I mean, Vader is a legit guy. I mean, one of my probably if you would ask me this a year ago, I'd have said Vader. But if you look at the Undertaker and his body of work, it's hard to. He started doing the punching, the striking. He started doing the grappling, the jiu-jitsu. He started doing the aerial stuff. It's Undertaker, and he's involved in if not the greatest wrestling match of all time. It's Undertaker. So go ahead, Stevie Boy.
Ooh, okay, well, there's not much left to be said other than those two. So I'll give you my top 5 real quick. Just a quick top 5, not a hard top 5. But these are just 5 guys that I think of off the top of my head. Undertaker,
Right.
Vader,
Okay.
Kane is always going to be up there for me.
Kane's underrated.
I prefer Kane over the Undertaker character-wise. I just think Kane was so cool and still so cool. Yokozuna was up there, and then I'm going to throw in Earthquake because didn't he wrestle Hulk Hogan
He did.
at WrestleMania?
But not at WrestleMania, no.
No,
But at
no,
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam. Yeah, I'm sorry,
He put him out.
but Earthquake had a good little run of like a couple of different, he was always
Characters.
he was always Earthquake, right? But he
WWE, yeah.
and he had the natural disasters and all that.
Couple runs facing.
So yeah,
He was able to
Earthquake
go.
is kind of my sleeper guy. I like Yokozuna a lot. Also, I think.
What about Rikishi?
I think Yokozuna was the
Honestly,
old.
you saying that too? Bam Bam Bigelow is probably my sleeper guy. My
Yeah.
guy that doesn't get as much credit as he
Right.
deserves.
I
being an
was when I saw that I was like, oh yeah,
Oh.
wow, I totally
I'm
sucked.
gonna let you go, and I got one more guy
Go ahead.
to throw up.
Yeah, go ahead. Who's your one? You can pick one. Out of all these guys we talked about.
But
I
okay,
was-
wait. Well, I want to Andre the Giant. I didn't say that. So
Okay, you gotta get
that would
in.
be my number one.
And,
big
and the
man.
documentary's coming soon too,
Yeah.
right? From was it
Stevie Boy Productions.
No, I was talking about the guy that ESPN.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Year
Phillips?
2000
What's his
never.
name?
Todd Phillips.
No, I can't remember the guy's name now.
Jonathan Coachman?
Bill, the guy from Boston. You know what I'm talking
Oh, you talking about the guy that does the ringer?
Yeah.
Bill Simmons.
about? Yeah, Bill Simmons is doing Andre the Giant.
Yeah,
documentary.
his
It's coming soon.
son's a wrestling fan, so he jumped into the wrestling.
But I'm sorry, but
business.
go ahead though. Go ahead.
My choice was Undertaker,
Pick
but
Undertaker. he's the goat. It's not
yeah, I'd
wrong
have to
answer.
say Undertaker. But if it's not Undertaker, it's Braun Strowman.
All right.
Currently.
Oh wow.
I
Okay.
thought about that, but he's not been around long
Not
enough.
long enough, but he's the current best.
But
guy.
He's not, but
One-
he's
one
but
other
he's
guy that's
pushing,
underrated
he's pushing TV
is,
back into like
Mark Henry.
I was gonna
Mark
say him.
Henry.
I was gonna say him.
I
and
watched his
forgot.
match with Vader at I think it was either Sunday Night Heat or Raw, and he literally put Vader over his
Yes.
head like
Oh,
this.
that's what
and the
he was
legitimate
doing.
strong
Yeah.
man too.
Yes. So, Mark Henry, kudos to you.
And shout out to One Man Gang. It's just a really cool name.
Yeah.
So
Big John Stud, there's plenty.
So let us know, including you, McGee, Dunnels, Adam, everyone out there watching. Let us know in the comments who is your favorite big man of all time. You can do one, you can do a list, you can do five.
WCW, NWA.
Joe, I'm looking at you. Mark Out Club,
WWE.
Facebook.
So let us know who's your favorite big man of all time and why. And join us next segment. We're going to talk about Monday Night Raw, Extreme Rules, all the fallout, and the brawl to end it all. Join us at Champions Here Show.
At Champions Here Show.
Strongest brand
In the land.
The champ is here!
And we're back to the Champ is Here podcast. And we're going to talk about Monday Night Raw and the fallout from Extreme Rules that happened about a week or so ago. And the first thing, though, that I want to get to, they had the 5-way match to determine the new number one contender to face Brock Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
Samoa Joe won. And I know the brawl started the show, but I think we'll get there. We'll save that for the end because I think that'll be the topic that kind of gets the hottest. What I wanted to start with is, and they kind of snuck it in there, sneaky a little bit, but Roman Reigns is going to return next week after, the match and everything. We haven't seen him on TV since. And he has a big SummerSlam announcement. So I just kind of wanted to go around the room and see what you guys thought potentially. What could this big SummerSlam announcement be? So we'll start with you, K-Pat. What is the big SummerSlam announcement?
Him and John Cena are going to go one-on-one for the Intercontinental title.
Wow.
There's a lot of things that have to happen.
Is it the champion right now?
Huh?
Isn't the Mr. Champion right now?
We're not talking about formalities. It's going to be...
Oh, wow. Okay. Well,
just like... I'm
said
going to
with
speak
his
it into existence. Just like LeVar Ball, I'm going to speak it into
Go ahead,
existence.
go
$1 billion. Well, go ahead, McGee. What do you think Roman Reigns is?
Okay, well, if we're speaking stuff into existence,
That he retires?
no, that's soon to come.
Oh, is that what you want? Right? That's what you want, right? I want
The,
Ron to beat him into retirement.
Y'all are haters.
I didn't.
Hate. Gotta go home and put water in your mama's water.
The Shield getting back together. No, I'm just kidding.
No, seriously, what do you think?
I have no idea, to be honest.
Take a wild guess.
Him and John Cena going one-on-one for the Intercontinental
Him
title?
and John Cena going one-on-one against the Intercontinental Champion.
So what do you think then, Stevie boy?
I don't
What is
know.
Roman Reigns?
I don't know what it could be.
I mean, that seems like one of the most logical things because they're teasing the free agent thing.
We'll get to that.
He's
too.
gonna come to Raw or who? I don't know. What Roman Reigns?
Why?
He's got something to prove because he's been beat up by Strowman. Is he gonna call Strowman out? I don't think so.
He's got two stories. So why would he go to
secretly,
the
he's actually the one beating up Enzo.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
I'm kidding.
No.
What
He
I
wouldn't
think-
waste his
not
time
big
with that
enough.
little puppet.
What I think is going to happen is Roman Reigns is going to show up. He's going to get the pop. It's going to be half boos, half cheers. He's going to kind of soak it in. And right when he starts speaking, I think Braun Strowman is going to interrupt and beat him up. That's
That's a
I think
good
is gonna
point.
happen. That's what I think. That's how you introduce Braun Strowman back into.
When is that?
They never really.
That is next week?
This Monday coming up.
Okay.
Go ahead.
He's going to join Mr. O'Neil on the Titus brand.
Yeah, you're really speaking that one into
Yeah,
Dexter, but,
yeah.
but yeah, so that's what I think is going to happen. It's a good way to reintroduce Braun Strowman back into the ecosystem, the Predator, the Destroyer himself, right? The
Mhm.
monster among men. And don't look so excited.
I mean, he doesn't really
But,
need to be introduced back into it. He's just going to come in and do what he
gonna
always
take
does.
it.
Yeah.
He's just going to take it. He's just going to show up. Honestly,
We don't
even like
have
better
to
if the
win.
music didn't hit. He just showed up and just beat him. But so we'll see what happens with that. But Corey here touched on it, so we're going to move on to the next topic. The ongoing mystery of who's been attacking Enzo and Big Cass backstage. 2 weeks in a row, we saw Enzo found laying in a heap backstage by himself under rubble and whatnot. And then recently, I think the last 2 weeks was Cass, right? Or was it just the last week? Was it 1 or 2 weeks?
No, it's 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks.
So 2 weeks now.
Because the
Cass
last
has been
week
laid
they,
out. They found the chain.
yeah.
Was it the first or second week?
The
I don't
first
understand
week.
why they found-
The first week.
I don't know why they found my gold chain there. It's very weird. But there's been speculation. Has it been the Revival? Has it been maybe
The Titus brand.
the Titus brand could have been involved, right?
Mr. O'Neil is very sneaky.
Maybe it could have been the Big Show. They kind of threw that one out there. So we'll start you, Stevie boy. What do you think is? You're the biggest Enzo and Cass fan. What do you think is going on
I have.
with the realest guys in the
I'm
room?
not sure. I want to say it's Big Cass. Really, it's secretly Cass attacking Enzo, and then
Faking his own beat ups.
Cass stopping, and then Enzo going to get somebody to beat up Cass for him, So they're actually just secretly attacking each other, and they don't.
So
know.
how-
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I have no idea. I think it's still Big Cass, but I mean, it's not that well done of a storyline. It's more like a whodunit right now. We need a fashion police on this case right now. But other than that,
so there's no chance it's the Revival or someone else like that.
I don't think so. I mean,
Okay, well, what do you think?
It was the butler in the kitchen with the lead pipe.
oh, Colonel
That's a good
Mustard,
guess.
no Colonel
What-
Mustard.
What do you think?
I got 2 guesses. One is either Rikishi, he's doing it for The Rock,
Okay.
or it's John Cena.
Wow. Heel turn right finally.
Yes.
That's the big swerve. It took him this long.
He's
to
coming
turn.
after
No, it's,
Enzo.
I think it's Big Cass though.
Yeah, I kind of think it's Big Cass too, but part of me, because it's like they haven't had a tag title run.
Yeah, what are they going
Why
to do?
would
They
you
can't break them up, but they have no
So-
momentum if you don't. They have no momentum as a tag team almost, so you have to break them up.
I think they're going to
Put them back
tease.
together.
They're going to tease the breakup with this, but it's going to be the Revival, and that's how they bring the Revival back into the fold.
That's probably the best.
So-
That probably would make sense.
But we'll see.
Or something's going to happen to where they have to fight the Revival, and it's going to be, the attention's going to be put on them, and then it's going to go back to Enzo getting beat up again after they beat the Revival.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. For once, Enzo was putting on a good show without Cass.
Yeah, because both of them are not good actors. Put it this way, real G's, not real good actors.
and on that note, let's move on to the next topic. We're going to touch on the cruiserweights a little bit, specifically the King. All hail King Neville, the longest reigning WWE Cruiserweight Champion of the modern cruiserweights. So there's a rumor going around that Tozawa is potentially the next challenger.
He did call out to Tozawa.
So who, if Tozawa maybe, who's the one to knock off King Neville? Who's dethroning the King?
Who else is left?
You want me to start naming people? I can name a bunch of
The
people.
whole-
Big
Tony
people.
Nese. Tony Nese hasn't. Grand Metalik
I like Tony
hasn't.
Nese.
That's what it's either
Mustafa
going to be.
Ali hasn't. They can go ahead and get crazy and bring in Zack Sabre Jr. if they wanted to. But I digress. But who is Tozawa himself is also a bigger name.
I'll put Tozawa up there.
You think Tozawa's the one to beat him? So this program right now that they're about to get into, Tozawa's the one to dethrone the King? It's an interesting theory.
It is. It's very.
You got a guy named Sin Cara,
We haven't seen him in a while,
Kalisto.
right? Well,
Grandma
Kalisto-
Lee.
Kalisto's
But he's-
still
yeah.
in this weird feud with the Titus
we
brand.
haven't even.
Well, and then
He hasn't even been fully introduced into the cruiserweights
to
yet.
mention the Titus brand, it might be Tozawa.
I think it
That would be
Ooh.
interesting if Titus kind
Okay.
of like plays like a little hanky-panky. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind
Mr.
of
Right.
I didn't think
match.
about that until you just said that.
I was thinking
Look,
I was thinking Kendrick would come and get involved in Neville Tozawa match.
I
but
thought he
that's
already-
pretty much squashed
Yeah, I
at
was
this
about to
point.
say, he's-
So that makes more sense. Is because I don't see them beating Neville right out. At least not one.
I wanted to see a little more
Not
out of
clean,
this evil TJP thing, but they didn't push that very far.
He can still be evil.
Well, who? Rich,
I mean, he can, but I wanted to see. I wanted to see what.
what the evil TJP?
Yeah,
well,
I
Rich
wanted
Swann
to
gave
s-
him props this week, and then
I wanted to see a new, like, rejuvenated TJP and what he could do if he got the belt back instead of the boring stale one we saw.
I
that
think
Woody
we've seen the
Simmons
extent
character.
of his personality.
I
He has
don't
a
know.
little
No,
bit of
I'll say since Neville got in the picture and he started hanging with Neville, I'd probably say like I see him in a new light now instead of the one where it's just like, oh, you're sticking this in my face 24/7.
Video game guy, one up.
When he started wearing the dark colors and stuff, I started getting
It's
intrigued.
more of it gives him more depth. I'll say that.
He started getting snappy back with
he's
Neville.
Still
I
slightly,
kind of
slightly stale in my opinion. His facial expressions and everything else, he's kind of expressionless.
Well,
But I like TJP. His ring work is great and it rubs off on me and makes me like him more.
I don't think anyone's beating Neville. So moving on to the next.
Good
Nobody.
point.
Moving on to the next right. Who's on the Neville level?
no one.
But next question. All right, we got to move on, guys. Speaking of champions, the tag team champions, Cesaro and Sheamus, affectionately known as Cesaro. I can't talk right now. Cesaro. But anyway, Cesaro recently defeated the Hardy Boys at Extreme Rules in the steel cage match to win the tag team titles back. Second time. First time they beat the New Day. So they had a rematch on Raw. It was the main event. Actually, I was kind of surprised. 2 out of 3 falls. They pushed it the whole night. And of course, it ends in a tie. It ends in a tie. So
Schmaz.
what was supposed to be what looked like the blow off to this feud is prolonging it further. There's going to be one more match. Has to be a gimmick match, right? They've done a ladder match
They
already.
just did a gimmick.
They've
Yeah.
done a steel cage match. They've
They
done a
did
2 out of 3 falls
falls.
match. So, are they going to meet again at Great Balls of Fire?
The I
You,
Quit
Kinda
match.
you
has
know
to,
they
right?
are. You know they are.
So, okay, well,
Or-
then we'll do it this way. So, if they're going to meet at Great Balls of Fire, I'm going to put you guys on the spot. Fantasy booking real quick. I know you don't like it, but we're going to do it real quick. You're booking the match. What is the match? What is the match to seal it, to end it? This is it. Win or lose, you got to accept the results. Hardy Boys versus Cesaro, one last time. You have an answer. Go ahead, K-Pack.
So am I giving you the winner, or am I just giving you?
The
scenario.
gimmick match.
Gimmick.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But give me at least one, though.
All right. I won't give you a winner,
Okay.
but what I am going to give you is the match.
Okay.
They're tag team wrestlers.
Okay.
It's going to be a regular tag team match.
One fall.
One fall.
One fall to
That's
novel
it.
concept. Okay, let's see. What do you think?
Have they already done TLC?
Yeah.
They've done a ladder. It's like a variation.
Well, they technically did a TLC when they surprised them at WrestleMania.
Well, it was technically
Yeah, that was a
later than
ladder match.
Oh,
Well,
So-
the
technically
tag
it's
has like
similar spots.
I mean, I'll say TLC then,
There was no Dudley Boys or.
and I'll say Sheamus. The Cesaro's gonna win it.
oh wow, so he's getting bold. What do you think?
I would almost say that. Okay, so I'm gonna go with
Not quite Simon shirt.
a tag team. It's Coral. Tag
I agree.
team.
It is.
I Quit match, as
Yeah,
in
you can't tap the tape.
as in both members of the team have to say I quit. So like it would end in.
Has
like-
that ever happened before?
I don't think so, and it sounds like it
didn't
would
they
be
do-
hard to do.
Didn't they do that Breaking Point? I think DX and the Legacy.
But it's leading to. It's going to lead to
Stats and info, look
in
it
the
up.
match. Sheamus and
Joseph.
Cesaro just beating the mess out of Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy.
That's Arthur Sinclair.
And
aka
what
Sting.
happens? We all know what happens. Matt Hardy gets broke, and he doesn't quit, but he turns broke, and
Dude.
then they win.
Did you not see those
And then-
knees that Sheamus gave?
Then they win.
He's
Then
broke.
they win the match.
I'm still stuck that he was bleeding from the eye. Like, I still can't get over that. So I actually like the idea of what Corian said, but I'm going to take it and put a twist on it. They're going to have a regular tag team match, except it's going to be a no DQ match. So it won't be a regular tag team match, but it will be, if that makes
Okay,
sense.
yeah.
So there's no count out,
Yeah.
right? There's going to be hopefully no interference. They're just going to go out there and it's going to, I think it's going to be brutality on the level you're talking about. It's just not going to be a tag team I Quit match. If you ask me.
Yeah, they took it really hard. That first Sheamus and Cesaro match was pretty stiff. The last two,
Well, I think
Well,
it
the last
exceeded
two-
expectations
Dude,
too. I mean, a lot of us around here weren't
It
expecting
did.
much from that match,
No.
and we all ended up hooting and hollering.
and now
Yeah.
the bar has been
Yeah.
raised. The bar has been raised.
The
right?
bar. Oh, speaking of that too, you guys, one say one phrase,
Yeah,
one
bar.
say the other. You can't coordinate it because y'all just can't time it. Right.
Matching jackets is kind of lame too. Get your own like.
Nah,
two different
man.
I kind of like the jackets. Just,
Yeah.
One says, "Well, we raised the bar.
Yeah.
We are the bar." One say one, the other say the other. Okay, we're getting off topic.
To answer your
Yes.
question, it was
Breaking
a
point.
submissions count anywhere match.
Oh.
The Legacy, Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase Jr. versus D-Generation X, Triple H versus.
So
Triple
both
H
guys had to
is
say I quit though, right? Or they submit or whatever, if I remember correctly, right?
Oh yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
So the legacy loss.
Cool. No, I think they won that
Legacy
match.
won.
Yeah. So anyway, we're getting off topic, but I was right. Okay, last thing we're gonna talk about, but it was the first thing that happened. We found out who is the new challenger to Brock Lesnar's crown, the Universal Champion. Only the fourth in history, if I'm not mistaken, and he's yet to defend the belt. So this is a big deal, right? Who's going to take up that mantle, that fight, that charge? Roman Reigns has already had his shot. Seth Rollins has had a shot at Brock Lesnar before, albeit in a triple threat match. But the other guys, I don't think ever had a shot at Brock Lesnar yet. So they chose Samoa Joe out of everyone else. Samoa Joe wins the match. So it's Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar. What you got?
No, I'm
Oh, okay. But,
I'm captivated.
and what I really enjoyed about this, right, is they almost turned it to where it's almost like there's no good guys or bad guys, because Joe comes out the first week after winning, cutting his usual promo, pretty good promo by the way, right? Getting the ferocity across, getting the fact across that I don't fear Brock Lesnar. And if anything, I'm jealous. Everything
Right.
you have, I don't just want it. I want to take what you have,
including Paul Heyman.
I don't want my own. I want what you have for me.
Right.
So it was pretty interesting, angle they took. Heyman shows up, does his usual I'm an advocate thing, but this time, Joe strikes, chokes him out. right?
Mm-hmm.
And that pretty much builds the anticipation for this week. Brock
Yep.
Lesnar shows up, and you know when he's going to show up, he's going to want to kick ass.
Mm.
So sure enough, they started off. Heyman was kind of questionable promo at times, and kind of uncomfortable. I mean, on second viewing, it wasn't as bad, but watching it live,
You're
I
a
kinda got-
mutt.
Yeah, he kind of was with the whole Samoan and the race thing, kind of got a little iffy. But they ended up having a big pull apart brawl, and Samoa Joe hits him with a good kick to the face. I mean, I thought it was pretty stiff. So overall, what did you guys think of this segment? Was it successful in building the anticipation? And secondly, was it successful in making you think Samoa Joe realistically has a chance of winning? What do you think, McGee?
I'll say no, because
No on what? Go ahead, be specific.
no,
Oh, wow.
no. In this doesn't. I guess it can say it makes Samoa Joe look a little more credible, but it didn't fulfill that story for me because Brock Lesnar. Everybody was looking forward to this week. You know, you can't touch Paul Heyman unless answering to Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar came in. It looked like Samoa Joe gave him like a little push at first, and it was like knocking down a skyscraper. He was falling backwards, and you know, then the crew comes out and they're holding both of them back, and you know, he gets one kick to the face, and then it's like everybody, you know, jump out and scurry. I thought they should have went a little more like with the beast on that one. Like,
So you think Lesnar should have got the upper hand?
yeah, you
Really?
you touched Paul Heyman. Everybody was looking forward to
But
that answer
Go
to
ahead.
Lesnar.
Go ahead, Stevie. Go rebut.
I feel like Joe is like the perfect like counter for Brock Lesnar because the audience has slightly soured on Brock Lesnar because he is we talked about it last podcast. The belt is not present. He's not making it credible, even though he is Brock Lesnar. I think out of that Fatal 5-Way, Samoa Joe is definitely the freshest face, and we thought the cool guy was going to win, which is Finn Balor, and then they flipped it and they made the other cool guy win, which was Joe. And so both guys look good, but I mean, yeah, definitely. I think though, like what we need to see is somebody who is a real challenger to Brock Lesnar, not Brock Lesnar just doing the Brock Lesnar shtick that we normally see, which is eat, sleep, suplex, repeat. Right? We need to see him get kicked in the face every now and then, which is a good refresher because Samoa Joe came out and did that. So yeah, I think it was a good overall, like successful segment. It was a good build, and I think overall, like it's a good win.
Creates parity.
Yeah, and Joe is a great challenger for Brock to be taken seriously.
Well, what do you think, K-Pad?
I think
And we'll get back to you.
I think, like Stevie Boy said, I'm tired of seeing this Brock Lesnar stick. I want.
Shtick. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you saw this week. You were happy to see
Yeah.
the way that it was
Yeah,
built.
Didn't mind seeing somebody that's not a super power being like your Brock Lesnar or your super trained John Cena. I done went and spent time in a hyperbolic time chamber, or your Undertaker.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to see Samoa Joe, who's a regular guy who shows up to work every week.
But then you
Go
see
toe-to-toe
him
with
stand
Brock
next
Lesnar.
to, but then you see him stand next to Lesnar, and you're like, oh wow,
Comparable.
This guy actually kind of
He's
has a
not
shot a little
swole,
bit.
Yeah.
but he's not a small guy.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Agile, he's skilled.
Yeah.
And as JR would say, you know, he's going to bring his lunch pail to work. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
but
He's blue collar.
in terms of name presence or
the marquee value.
fame, yeah,
Yeah.
you know, Samoa Joe is a little lesser known than those other guys.
True, definitely. I agree. That's part of the trade-off.
Oh, yeah.
But what were you thinking, though, McGee? Go ahead. What were you saying earlier?
We were all talking about it, and I'm getting tired of the Brock Lesnar, but it's like when I went into the picks of the Fatal 5-Way,
Right.
I was already in the mindset that the person that gets picked
He's going to get fed.
is already going to get fed to Brock Lesnar,
Right.
and then,
I think so too, but
But then it's like you attack his advocate Paul Heyman, and it's like everybody
Not
knows.
even your personal.
Yeah, everybody knows how important Paul Heyman
So
is
now
to
you're
Brock
just
Lesnar.
making the beat
so
down worse.
yeah, so it's like you bring in Brock Lesnar, and you're kind of like,
Now, couldn't the flip side to that be if Samoa Joe successfully takes out Heyman, or at least gets to Heyman, could that get to Lesnar in a negative way? Like, could that throw him
Yeah,
off his
yeah,
game?
I just-
'Cause maybe he gets too emotional. He
Yeah,
gets too caught up on
yeah.
I want to hurt you. I
Yeah.
don't want to win. Because Samoa Joe made it clear. It's not personal. He just wants what Brock has.
Right.
Like, it's not like I personally dislike you. I just want to be the champion.
Right.
I want to have the money. I want to be the top guy. So if this is what I got to do to mess with your mind to get there,
Right.
I'll
Right.
do
Do
that.
it.
And then when I win,
yeah,
Right.
Moving on to the next
There's
topic. You're done.
there's no Samoa Joe rags to riches story.
Yeah.
There's no WWE 24/7 documentary.
Because with Seth and Joe, that's personal. But before we get too off, we got to kind of wrap it up, you guys. You know, it's been a good discussion. So after tonight, I know it's kind of premature, but this is what we got to do here. So, quick yes or no. After what you saw the last 2 weeks, the build, the direction they're going in, can you see Samoa Joe winning? Do you want Samoa Joe to win? However you want to answer it. We're going to start with you, K-Pat.
Yes, I want him to win.
Do you see, is it realistic?
Yes.
Okay.
I want him to win. Is it realistic? I think it is, but it's really, I think it's still like 60-40.
More Lesnar's favorite?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even stronger just right now. We'll see.
Realistic? No. I mean, he does pose a threat out of
65,
all those 5 guys, but he's being fed, and I'm still waiting for Braun Strowman.
If you ask me,
82-12.
if you ask me right now, I'm going to say, you heard it here first, Samoa Joe wins. I think he does. I said it off camera.
Samoan brah.
They're just stealing my answer. But join us next segment. We're going to talk about SmackDown Live. We're going to talk about John Cena first. Then we're going to talk about SmackDown Live. But you guys stick around, because this is the Champ Is Here show.
The strongest brand in the land.
At
Champ Is Here show.
Yeah,
At Champ Is Here show.
The champ is here.
And we're back to the Champ Is Here show. And I kind of actually want to do something a little bit different tonight, if you guys don't mind. During Monday Night Raw, I didn't know where to segment this during the show. So during Monday Night Raw, we saw a promo for the return of 16-time world champion. 16-time world champion, if I'm not
15,
mistaken.
yeah, 15.
I thought it was 16.
I thought it was 16.
Oh, he tied. I'm sorry. You're
He
right.
beat AJ.
You're right.
At the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
He said it was the match of the year.
Because when my dad was asking me, do you think he's going to beat Ric Flair?
So, anyway, a certain 16 times world's heavyweight champion, as Dusty Rhodes would say, is making his return July 4th. And what I thought was interesting, and and the funny thing is WWE do this. They kind of snuck it in and really kind of they expected us to see, but they didn't really explain it.
Yeah.
Free agent John Cena returning July 4th. When clearly he was drafted to SmackDown Live. When clearly he won the World Championship on SmackDown Live. When clearly the last time we saw him, he was on. Anyone want to take a guess?
SmackDown Live.
Yeah.
So, with all that being said, his fiancée Nikki Bella is also currently off right now, who's a SmackDown worker. We haven't seen her recently. Cena has outside commitments, movies, television shows, and whatnot. What do you think it means when they call the 16 times world's heavyweight champion a free agent? Stevie Boy Smith, we'll start with you.
I don't know. I feel like, tracking back, it kind of sets up that Roman Reigns.
Okay.
That Roman
For the
Reigns
Intercontinental
angle.
title?
Well, yeah. We'll get to that. But it feels like the Raw division with the men is so overcrowded right now. John Cena almost will not. I feel like he might oversaturate that division, and I still would personally like to see Cena on the Blue Brand, wrestling guys like Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles. He's done all that he can do. I get it because it's kind of like,
You know what he hasn't done? Won the Intercontinental title.
True.
And
So-
wrestle Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, that's a good point.
At SummerSlam.
I think people are. I think that's
First
gonna
going
be
on.
where the money is him wrestling a new opponent and getting in a new angle
Okay.
Like Roman Reigns.
with Roman Reigns, and the free agent thing puts that speculation out there. So it'll be good to see.
You think he's going to jump shows back?
I don't
and forth, or
know.
he'll be on
I
one or
don't
the other?
know. I would like to see him, since he's Mr. WWE. I think it would be cool to see him pop back and forth, but I'm not quite sure how that would work.
What about you? What do you think, K-Pad? I know you're an OG Cena fan. From
I am. I actually had, back in 9th grade, I was doing this so much. My ninth
They couldn't
grade,
see you?
yeah, my 9th grade biology teacher drew it in my yearbook.
You weren't
I
present.
actually do not remember him from 9th grade.
You
that
were not
year.
present.
That's how much I didn't see him.
Yeah,
I've known him since 7th grade.
exactly.
That 9th
But-
grade was just a blank.
For other reasons, but anyway, I want John Cena to come back and win the Intercontinental title.
So you think he's going to come back strictly to Monday Night Raw?
Yes.
And challenge the
Well,
Miz because of you think
First
He's got
thing-
unfinished business.
First,
of
yes.
his, yeah.
First thing he's gonna do, he's
Ooh,
gonna appear
I
on
did
both
not-
shows and be courted by both shows. He has a brother-in-law on SmackDown.
Who just had a baby recently. We haven't seen in a while.
So he's gonna be courted by both shows and end up on Raw, where his Raw is the A show.
So is that how they're gonna get him, or is it gonna be one of those things where?
Well, he's a free agent. They're just gonna throw the most money.
They're gonna hang. But Cena's made enough money. I think that.
But he ain't making enough yet.
What I think is interesting from what you said is I think they're gonna do what you said in the sense that they're gonna try to court him. But what's gonna win him over is accomplishments. He's never won the IC title. That's what Kurt Angle has to say to him. You're a competitor. You've never won this championship. Can you do it?
Can you do it?
And the Miz already has it.
And then after he
the Miz
wins
isn't doing
that,
anything right now besides Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, well, that and I think there's a lot of unfinished. Well, him and Angle. Speaking of that, haven't thought about that, but their relationship in the past and how much
Interesting.
and how much he likes. Kurt Angle has stated, I admire John Cena. I like him a lot. So why else would he not want him to come onto the Raw brand?
So McGee, you can get in on this. What is free agent?
Those
John
are the
Cena
text
mean?
messages John Cena's been sending. No, I'm kidding.
Right, it's been Cena the whole time.
Okay, I see Cena going to
It was
Raw.
It was JoJo. Don't.
It was me, Austin. It was me the whole time.
I see Cena going to Raw, and from hearing Corey and talk, like this IC thing might not be out of the picture. In a weird way, it's not, because he is not done with the Miz.
I feel like Cena's above that a little bit, like to have to track.
And
back.
we've seen many.
Okay, my argument to that is he actually might have had the best run of that year with the U.S. title.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Was
well,
it 2 years ago he was having all the open
when he was having the challenges,
and I'm talking about matches with Neville, Stardust, Heath Slater,
I'm not saying.
Well, even before they got to that far, but he was working with guys that were written off and considered lower to mid card guys that weren't like. The crazy thing is people were so wild about Jinder Mahal even becoming the number one contender. Cena probably would have had a match with Jinder Mahal during that run.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It made him look like $1 million. So, anyway, I was just putting Cena over. That's all.
And then we've seen many a program where people's dream matches. Well, we were watching Table for Three.
Well, Cena is one of those guys. He brings out the best.
And one of them said Roman Reigns, John Cena, and I think it was for the Intercontinental.
Yeah. That's what
it was. Jim Cornette, right?
It's for the U.S. The Universal title, and it was.
Jim
it was
Cornette,
for the
Universal title.
Eric Bischoff said
they were booking
too,
fantasy,
and I'm pretty sure Michael PSA said it also.
No, I think
somebody was different.
No, Cornette said Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar in a submission
right.
match, and then
the other two said
Bischoff said heel Roman versus Cena.
Yeah. Something
and
like
I think maybe P.S. Michael Hayes said the same thing. But I actually think I think Cena Roman Reigns is a WrestleMania worthy match. So you keep that off the table.
Is it though? Who gets booed when they win?
Everybody.
Oh no,
everybody.
Cena's getting cheered this time against
you
Roman.
Think? I think
Cena's
so.
getting cheered because Cena is. I think the thing
he's
about
the cool
Cena,
guy. He's the cool guy.
He's on the way out now.
Yeah.
He's on the way out now. We don't see him as much. He's not forced down our throats, and he's actually a really good performer. So you don't see him that often. When he shows up, it's for big matches. When he shows up for big matches, he delivers.
Yeah.
So all that angst and that anxiety and that dislike that was targeted at him, I think has been shifted towards Roman Reigns now. So you take a guy like John Cena, you put him in there with a heater like Roman Reigns, that's going to get the heat no matter what. No matter who you put him in there with at Mania. That crowd's going to probably boom or split it, best case scenario. Put him there with Cena, you probably have the closest thing in modern times that we'll see to Rock Hogan. And as far as like crowd participation and just really the atmosphere making the match. In my opinion. So, and it also saves room to have, Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles over here, and maybe, a different match for the main event on Raw for the title.
So would you rather see that match at SummerSlam or WrestleMania?
We talking?
I'd be happy to
see Roman.
I'd be happy to see it either way, to be quite honest with you, because I think they're going to tear it down.
Right.
To be quite honest with you. I would just think WWE want to save it for WrestleMania.
Exactly.
I mean, for them to make money.
Right.
I mean, I'm happy either way.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I would like to see SummerSlam.
For my own selfish reasons, I might be going to WrestleMania next year.
Of course.
Mania, bro.
Yeah, but I wouldn't mind seeing that this summer.
And then Lesnar will be there because I just like the idea of if they could do Nakamura, AJ Styles as one main event, and then you have another main event, maybe Finn Balor, Brock Lesnar, or Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, or however they want to work that, and then you still have the John Cena, Roman Reigns. I mean, it's just that's a stacked card right there.
Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt is going to be the card. It looks like, and that's boring.
Wow. And on that note, we're happy that you're coming back. Big match, John Cena, the champ, the 16-time former world's heavyweight champion, the free agent. So you guys let us know what you think. What does it mean, free agent John Cena? Leave a comment. Let us know. I mean, hopefully we'll find out soon. For all we know, Roman Reigns might come back next week and challenge John Cena. That might be what the SummerSlam announcement is. We don't know. But we're going to find out soon enough. So tune in and join us next segment.
No, go ahead.
Okay, join us next segment. We're going to talk about the Blue Brand SmackDown Live, the Go Home Show, Money in the Bank this weekend. Who you got? We'll find out.
At Championship Show, the strongest brand in the land.
The champ is here!
Please don't tap on the table. Welcome back to the Champ is Here podcast. I am Kevin Cartier. I'm sorry you had to hear that. We're here to talk about SmackDown Live, the Blue Brand, and the build-up, the Go Home Show to Money in the Bank. So, Money in the Bank, we're going to get to the ladder match. We're going to get to the other ladder match. But before we get to the ladder match, the other ladder match, and the WWE World Championship, we'll talk about with the Tag Team Championship. And I think it's the way the show started this week, too.
Mm-hmm.
The New Day made their entrance with a New Orleans-style Revival brass band.
Yep.
It was a line. It was like a
second line?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Well, it was pretty fly.
Yeah.
I do agree, it was pretty fly. They came out with the unicorn horns and the shirts and everything.
Yep.
And it was kind of cool to see the New Day, they was kind of like to do something different. And the Usos ended up coming out. But I kind of want to get to this. It's the Usos versus the New Day. Their first time wrestling since the New Day have came back and since the Usos have changed their personalities, their gimmick and whatnot. So the Usos are the champions going into this confrontation. Who is winning this weekend? Is it going to be the longest reigning champions of all time or the current champions? Stevie Boy Smith, we'll start with you.
It's going to be the Usos. Can't have New Day just yet. But Usos are going to keep the titles for a little longer.
What makes you say that?
Just because I feel like it's too early to just... Here you go.
So is this feud
hand
gonna
over
be-
the title. I
so
think
this
it's
is-
going to be a long-running feud.
This is going to build towards SummerSlam?
Because you've built your other tag teams now, your smaller tag teams with like the Fashion Files, the Colognes.
I mean,
and you still have American Alpha lurking, so
Yep.
you can have this big, long tag team title picture with New Day and the Usos. And New Day didn't even use Big E on SmackDown, so, that's still to be seen.
I mean, and they're definitely entertaining enough that they could probably take
Yeah,
this
I
out
think
there.
they could definitely put on more than one match. At least they could carry this for like a pay-per-view or two, I think.
Well, okay, maybe I asked a little too early. So before we get to who wins, Corey, what do you think of what's been happening with the New Day and the Usos and how they've been building this feud and the way they even reintroduced the Usos? Excuse me, the New Day.
I've been a fan of it. I'm a new guy. Oh, no, I'm a New Day guy, and I'm also a fan of the Usos. They have great chemistry together. We've seen that in years past, but it's hard to bet against the New Day. So
I mean, that became the hard and fast rule around here.
Yeah,
Don't
it
bet
is.
against the New Day in championship matches, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I learned the hard way.
And they've
6
made-
months in a row.
They've made the Usos look kind of shaky with that weird, the singles matches where they lost and then they barely won the tag team championship match right afterwards. But still think the Usos are going to win.
I mean, you can't. I mean,
You can't hate on their tag team. They have nothing but it. They're a
the
great tag
Usos
team.
are an all-time great tag team
Yes,
themselves.
they are, and so.
But it's
they're-
hard to bet against.
Especially in this modern WWE.
You know what I'm saying?
And,
like Charles
like-
Barkley is one of the all-time greats too. But give me Jordan any day of the
Is
week.
it time to switch the tag team belts for SmackDown finally?
What do you mean?
Though, is it finally time to see
See,
somebody else have the belts?
The Usos really haven't had that long of a run.
Yeah.
McGee.
It feels like they haven't, but they kind of.
I'm trying not to. Yeah, you don't bet against the New Days for the belt, but you haven't given the Usos that long.
5 months.
I could also see the Usos cheating to win too.
Yeah.
But
I could see that.
But
Something.
as far as this story, it's gonna go on for a while because you've seen what it's done for the tag team division as well. Like the
Bury the rest of them?
Yeah, no, I mean,
No, I just-
but
no, I gotta
it's bringing them
disagree
out
with
of the
that.
shadows though.
New Day showing up as because for whatever reason,
Or reinvigorate.
this is something I think if they reinvigorated because for whatever reason, the SmackDown Tag Title division they've made the most out of what they had on SmackDown in general with the talent, but they don't get TV time like I thought they would.
No.
Like it's really
Dude,
hit or miss.
Well,
American
we-
Alpha has been out the.
We haven't
out
seen them
of
in,
the
like,
window.
2
Yeah,
months.
I was
They
about to say the tag
it's
team
just been
thing.
very hit or miss. So having New
But
Day
isn't old boy
back,
having a baby?
I don't think so. I think he might have just been having fun with her. But it's one of them things where having the New Day, it brings the spotlight back, and they're over. They're moving a lot of merchandise.
Yeah, they're fun to watch.
It brings the titles back on TV.
Nobody cares if they win or lose, to be honest with you, because they're going to be fun to watch.
Yeah,
every
they
match.
did that
so,
good.
like, that's part of the win with them. Is
Do you guys remember that match with it's a little off topic, but with Xavier Woods and SmackDown last summer?
Yeah, it was really good with AJ Styles.
Yes.
It was really good.
Yeah.
He got to show off his. Were you there for that?
Yeah, he said a few rows.
Yeah.
Yes.
He said a few rows
That
behind
was a
us
great
and
match,
they
actually.
Yeah, it really was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they gave him a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
So we were sitting like third row.
Yeah.
We were pretty nice. Unfortunately, not from Raw. I have a pinky ring now.
Actually, the best match was Connor versus Sheamus, I think, because I didn't expect it was on WWE Live or Superstars, and Connor put on a great match. I was like, wow.
Okay, well now we're talking about
The
the
Ascension
Ascension.
is terrible.
Back to the tag team division. So one more time, we'll go around the room. Yeah, I think you already said New Day's winning this weekend, right?
No, Usos. Usos retained.
Who's winning?
New Day.
Who's winning? Put me on the spot. Come on.
New Day.
New Day. All right. New Day, new champs. So, moving on. Also happening at this week's Money in the Bank pay-per-view spectacular, it will be the current reigning, defending WWE SmackDown Women's Champion Naomi, two-time Women's Champion Naomi, versus her new challenger who just debuted last week, or re-debuted, the lovely Lana. And Lana kind of talked her way, a la Conor McGregor talked her way into this title fight and kind of provoked her way into the title fight. And now Naomi says she has something to prove and she wants to shut Lana up. So what have you guys thought of the way that they got a women's championship match onto the show? Because for a minute it looked like Naomi might not even be on the show. And this would have been the second or third month in a row that there wasn't a women's championship match on the show. Maybe I'm mistaken, but we'll start with you over here, McGee. What do you think of the Lana and Naomi feud and how they went about building it as quickly as they have? I mean, for only having 2 or 3 weeks to build it, they got it this far.
I mean, it's weird how it's came up that fast, but I mean, it's the WWE, and I don't know. I'm excited for the Lana and Naomi thing.
So the idea of Lana and Naomi interests you?
Yes, it does. Oh, and half of Lana. I want to see what.
Yeah.
I want to see what she does.
Yeah.
Yeah, wrestling Lana, we haven't seen one-on-one.
I think it is a good way to introduce Lana.
It's nothing bad towards Naomi. I just want to see what Lana.
Great way to introduce Lana. Let her gain some heat because, I think they've done a good job of building all the other women in on the SmackDown brand, and now all of a sudden Lana is coming up in the picture. She's kind of like,
But that's hypocritical.
kind of doing that. She hasn't earned it.
No, yeah.
And exactly. And so it's going to make you feel gratified for Naomi when she wins the title and defends it against Lana, because we're going to feel like Lana doesn't deserve it. But we're going to not like Lana, so she's going to have that heat already after the match because she just...
So you're cool with Lana getting an immediate title shot?
I am,
you guys are
because...
cool with anything, but you're not cool with the New Day doing that?
Well, that has nothing to do with anything. Lana is just
it has
not
everything to
introduced.
do with it.
It does no,
because you just
Lana
criticized the New Day for getting
Lana
a title
has,
shot out of
but
nowhere.
But Lana has nothing. She's never
Exactly.
wrestled
So she
anywhere.
shouldn't deserve a title
That's
shot.
what I'm saying. She doesn't. So
But you're
whenever
cool with the
Naomi,
match.
when they gave it to her, so whenever Naomi wins, it's going to feel more gratified because Naomi hasn't really got to prove herself and to really they haven't let her shine in the way she should have. So I think by beating Lana, because she is undeserved.
Vindication.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's gonna.
So what do you think, Decorian?
I'm not excited about this match
At all?
at all
Why?
because I don't think Lana deserves it.
But what if it's like what Stevie Boy is saying? It's a showcase for Naomi more than anything.
They could have showcased it on SmackDown.
Wow. So you don't think it's pay-per-view worthy?
No.
Okay.
There's plenty of other women in this industry.
Okay, you're right. They could have put it easily on broadcast TV. Why are they putting it on pay-per-view?
Because, like you said,
are you nervous that Lana's going to win?
No.
At all?
No.
So what were you going to say then?
It's like you said. It's been
She's
the last
taking
few
the new-
matches
she's
they
taking
haven't
the
had.
Diva spot.
They haven't had it on.
That I was just about to say that.
event.
I don't see Lana winning, but I'm seeing this for I guess a spotlight for Lana, as opposed to Eva Marie.
So there's no possibility Lana can win.
No, there's definitely a possibility.
I don't seeing her.
It's giving her. Yeah, you don't see her winning.
I just seeing this.
Because 4 months ago, none of us seen Jinder Mahal winning. But
Yeah, but
I just seeing this as them trying to put a spotlight on Lana, and kind of force her out there this time instead of being like you're holding on the rope saying, I think I'm gonna do this, I want to give this a try. It's so they're about like, how about this pay-per-view go?
You have to do it.
Yes, you have to.
Sink or swim, right?
It's either you.
Even Marie.
Yeah,
she
that's
was
what I'm saying. It's either
hated
you go
because
out
she
and you
wasn't
do
good
good
enough, but she was in the spotlight.
Yeah,
regardless.
it's either you go out and you do good, or you turn into Eva Marie.
And
We're gonna let you go.
She was in a unique position.
But she was a heel, and she has lots of fans out there.
But Lana can always fall back on her managerial skills.
But Lana also may be a little bit better a wrestler and maybe well liked before this, so I think she has a better shot. But
I'm intrigued to see her in the ring. I don't think any of us have seen her wrestle one.
No, I mean we got small little glimpses when she would come in and take
Kick
her
someone in
shoes
the
off
face.
and do that little drop thing and then walk out.
I even remember her kicking someone in the face one time. She took her shoes off and did that. But this is my take on it. And it's gonna sound really weird, but I was watching Total Divas, and they had an episode where Lana and Naomi had a dance off, right? And they were really talking trash to each other.
Oh, I've seen
they
that.
They both have dancing backgrounds. So I actually kind of like the rivalry they have. I'm a Naomi supporter, but I like both of them. So
I think Naomi would smash Lana in a dancing competition.
it was actually a really interesting dance competition. But so I actually am kind of intrigued, not only because of that and their natural chemistry I think they have. So I think they'll definitely pull an interesting match out. Even if Lana isn't the most talented in-ring performer, I think her and Naomi make it work just off the chemistry factor. But I also, from a storyline standpoint, I kind of think Lana might win. Because it's like, why else are they putting this on the pay-per-view? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it could be what Stevie Boy said, and they just want to have Naomi beat her on pay-per-view.
I think it's a good
kind of absolve the
chance.
demon, right?
Yeah.
Kind of just exercise it and get it
And
done.
then Lana's she's just gonna be mad that she lost, and she's gonna be like, I deserve to get a rematch, and then
It's
all
like,
the
nope, you gotta
ladies,
start at the bottom.
all the women are gonna be like,
Work your
no,
way back up, right? Because you just had 5 women that almost killed themselves. doing
because
TLC
Becky Lynch
matches.
is gonna be like, I just won the briefcase.
So speaking of that, that's the next thing we're going to talk about. The first time ever, right? We had an all-out wild brawl. It was supposed to be a fatal 5-way women's elimination match for the #1 contender. Match never got started. Big brawl. Shane McMahon comes out. Says for the first time ever on SmackDown Live, the land of opportunity, right? We're going to have ourselves a women's Money in the Bank match. It's going to be Becky, Natty, Charlotte, Tamina, and Carmella. So, before we pick winners, going around, first of all, I just want to ask, what do you think of the first ever Women's Money of the Bank match? How high is the bar? Or how interested, however you want to, angle you want to take. We'll start with you, Stevie Boy Smith. What do you think of the first ever Women's Money in the Bank?
What I think it's about time.
I agree.
It's going to be
about time. It's refreshing.
It's going to be a great idea, and I'm really excited because, to be honest, I don't know who's going to win. It's kind of like the men's match for me. There's everybody can possibly win, which is what's always so great about a Money in the Bank match, anyways.
Yep, I agree.
That's why it's
one
but
of my favorite gimmick
I
matches.
like it. I'm excited for it. I really would like to see Becky Lynch get the briefcase, but I'm not going to say my pick right now because that's not my pick.
Okay.
But I'm excited for it. And also, thumbs up on the women's briefcase design. When I thought y'all were unveiling it, I was really, really scared that it was going to be some bad hot pink briefcase, and it's not.
Classy. Yeah.
So it's nice and classy and white. I like it. So good job.
Okay, so what do you think, McGee?
Classy, huh?
I like it. I'm interested.
So do they have the right 5 superstars?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a great
Yeah.
match because you have a good mixture of everybody that can shine for a couple of minutes, and then you got your big stars who can
Yeah.
really carry the match and carry the feud.
You got your powerhouse,
yeah,
Tamina.
Exactly. You got everybody as well. Everything is well.
Charlotte can do power moves too.
Yeah.
No, she definitely can.
Every
But
little
Charlotte's that
facet
name that's
is
gonna carry the
pretty
whole
well
match.
represented. Yeah.
Charlotte's gonna be the glue.
Charlotte's going to do a
Yeah.
She can
moonsault
do
off
a
the
moonsault
ladder or
spot.
something.
Oh wow, she probably will. Maybe even through a ladder. But Charlotte can definitely do a moonsault spot. She can do the high flying. She can do the technical stuff. She can do the power stuff. So, but yeah. So is it? So it's the five. It's the right fight. It's the right 5 superstars that
Yes.
they have in this match.
Strong,
First ever
yeah.
Women's Money in the Bank.
Hmm?
SmackDown was the right place to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if I'm going to be picky about the roster, then I could pick a couple of it. I could be.
No, you don't have to be
Yeah,
overpicking.
but no, I'm happy and I'm excited for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
So
I think it's a good
expectations,
time.
are the women still in the show?
I think so.
I hope so.
No. It's going to be a good match, but no, they're not still on the show.
I think they steal the show.
I don't know. It's going to be
the men's match is pretty stacked,
50-50 because we're not sure what Shinsuke Nakamura or AJ Styles are going to do.
What is the top
match.
bill for the pay-per-view? Is it one of the Money in the Bank ladder matches?
I would think it would be. I would think it would be the world title match.
Yeah, Jinder Orton.
Now we're gonna get to that real quick too.
But, yeah.
So
La, 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 la.
so men's Money in the Bank then. Okay. Well, actually, no. We'll do picks real quick. So women's Money in the Bank. I just listed the 5 people. Who is winning the women's Money in the Bank?
Tamina.
Carmella.
Tamina.
Carmella. So we're moving on to the men's Money in the Bank. Shinsuke Nakamura, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler is the only man to win the Money in the Bank in this match, and the phenomenal AJ Styles. It's crazy to think that AJ Styles and Nakamura in a match in WWE, right? It's
Dude,
crazy.
yes.
So, I think that we can all agree this match doesn't really need the hype. All
Nope.
the guys involved in the concept of the match itself builds the hype.
Yep.
So I'm not going to waste a bunch of time asking what do you think of the match and everything. We're going to get right to the meat and potatoes of everything. Who do you have winning Money in the Bank and why? McGee.
It's either Nakamura or Corbin, but I'll say
Go tell them what you told me off show.
Nakamura.
No.
Why? Well, why?
What?
You said that you thought Nakamura was going to win until
Oh, yeah. Because he won 2 times in a row. They're not gonna let him do it. But
So pick. Go ahead. You're on the spot. One name. Let me know. It's not a name.
Corbin.
Corbin. All right, Stevie boy.
Baron Corbin.
Why Baron Corbin?
Well, because he probably needs the prestige the most. Because I think all the other guys in the match, they can get by with their wrestling and their mic work alone. Not saying Baron Corbin isn't good enough, but I think he will, that crutch will be good for him, and it'll give him, more prestige. I don't think Nakamura needs it. I think people already kind of think he's a big deal. He doesn't need to win. I don't think that this win will make him any bigger than he already is. He's AJ Styles, the best wrestler in the world right now. Everybody loves to watch Dolph Ziggler. We all know he's going to lose, so not worried about that.
I'm a loser.
Would love to see Sami Zayn win. But he's good enough on his own that he doesn't need the
See,
briefcase.
I kind of think on what you were just saying about needing a crutch, I almost think it's Sami Zayn. Baron Corbin could break through before Sami Zayn to the main event, just off of sheer size alone.
I
I
feel like Sami Zayn has the fan support behind him enough to where he doesn't. He kind of.
But Baron Corbin, that's your choice.
Yes, Baron
Okay.
Corbin.
My man K-Pat over here.
It comes down to me between Baron Corbin and Sami Zayn.
You have to pick one.
I'm going with Sami Zayn
Okay.
because
Underdog from the underground.
yes, exactly, and that's the main reason why. Like you said, Baron Corbin, he's had some prestigious things. He won the Dre a year ago, so he has that to fall back on. He is,
Yes, probably the best finisher in the business right now.
He's just physicality. He's a big guy. He can win. We were talking about big guys earlier.
Looks believable.
Yeah, he at any given time
He gets
he
better
can
every
get a
time
number
we see
one
it.
contendership
I
out of
agree.
anywhere. Where with Sami Zayn, you can't say that as much. And with
'Cause
Baron
he
Corbin,
seems like in the storyline, Sami Zayn's kind
it's lower down. Yeah.
So you're picking
Yeah,
Sami Zayn
yeah.
to win, and the briefcase is what helps him break through.
Yes.
Okay, so interesting. So we all have, and I'm picking Baron Corbin myself though. So we all have who we think is going to win Money in the Bank.
Baron
So wow,
Corbin,
we
Baron
picked,
Corbin,
basically
Baron
all
Corbin,
picked the same.
Sami Zayn.
Yeah, we all picked 2 different choices. And
Well, I picked Baron Corbin
Okay.
before all y'all did, to be fair. But okay, before we get all into that, the main event of the Money in the Bank that I think is going to be the new champion Jinder Mahal having his rematch against the former champion, the 13-time champion Randy Orton. Before I ask who's going to win, based on what you guys have seen so far, the hype, the presentation, the new entrance and everything, is Jinder Mahal a legitimate WWE champion to you guys? How has he fared thus far? Start with you, K-Pat.
So far, so good.
So give him a thumbs up. Give him a thumbs up. So, is he winning this weekend?
No,
Wow, we'll get back to that. Stevie Boy, what have you thought about Jinder Mahal so far?
I'm gonna give him
You're
a
giving him the bar.
sideways thumb right now.
We are the
because
bar.
He doesn't get a pass. He doesn't get a fail from me yet.
He's incomplete.
He's been,
I'll fade away in class of
you know,
thousands.
that's basically what it is. This describes Jinder Mahal's title run for me.
There's too many K's in the name, right?
But I would like to. I think he's going to retain. They shouldn't give him such a short run. He needs to like at least see where he can go with this belt
so Jinder's winning.
evolve his character more.
Let him run.
Because we literally just saw him starting to evolve. Just now starting to evolve. That finisher is really weak. I don't like.
I don't like it either.
But-
Bosch, it's a good name though.
I still see Jinder winning and retaining the title.
What about you, Mr. McGee?
Love Jinder.
Oh, 2 thumbs up. He said, "Forget your one. I'm giving."
No,
him
no,
2.
no bars, no down, no.
He said, "I wish I had more hands." He can give him 4 thumbs.
Don't
He
hinder
makes
the
he-
gender.
he-
Hard body Mahal.
Bruh, I
Yeah,
swear.
you know he's been hard.
He-
by
yeah.
Mahal.
He
Oh,
is-
yeah.
He ain't ashamed anymore, right? Leave,
No.
let the freak flag fly.
3 weeks ago,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
go, Danielle.
And it was.
Now
it
he's
was-
saying it with his chest.
It
Girl.
was questionable at first,
some
but
heart in it.
I've grown a liking to him,
And
and
well, funny thing is, I gotta agree with Stevie Boy too. I actually like his theme song too. I listened to
Yeah,
it the
I
other
like
day.
it.
I like the new entrance that he has and everything. I like it.
I'm
So-
just-
so he's winning this Sunday.
yes,
Hard
I
body
hope
Mahal.
they do. I hope he doesn't win.
I also agree. I think Jinder Mahal wins. You gotta let you gave the kid the rock. You gotta let him run with
It's
it.
going to give him more heat with Bob Orton sitting at ringside.
Oh yeah, they are in St. Louis.
Yeah,
Huh?
when
St.
Randy beats him.
Louis.
I mean, when Jinder beats him.
So yeah, so that was
So, yeah.
So that was a lively discussion. We're gonna do a live stream after the show, Money in the Bank reaction. Y'all please join us at Champions here
YouTube, Periscope.
and hold our feet to the fire.
Twitter.
All the picks that we made tonight, we'll have to back them up when it comes Sunday, right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Correct.
So yeah, join us.
Oh,
next
these aren't
segment.
official picks.
We're gonna they're artificial now all of a sudden, right? We're gonna wrap everything up, you guys. Everything we missed, fashion files, other people. I know you're a big Fashion Police fan, so all that other stuff. The Titus brand. We're gonna touch on all that and get to our match of the night. So join us next segment as we wrap it up at Champions Here Show.
At
Champions Here
Here
Show.
The strongest brand in the land.
The champ is here.
And we're back to the Champions Here. We're gonna wrap it up, you guys. We're gonna cover some things that we didn't get to cover in the last couple segments, some things we may missed, overlooked, maybe want to expand on a little bit further. So a local favorite amongst us, or one of us specifically, is the Titus brand.
Mr. O'Neil and the
So-
Titus brand is doing quite well.
Brother Patrick, go ahead and take it over. Let us know what's going on over there at the Titus brand.
Well, right now the Titus brand, Mr. O'Neil is recruiting other superstars.
Kira Tozawa.
Yes, and that is who we're working on acquiring his talents to our brand. And hopefully he chooses the right option.
So do you think Tozawa is joining the Titus brand?
I think he is.
I hope he does. It'll be best for his career.
What about you, Stevie Boy?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that a good look for Kira Tozawa? Does that help him break through?
It gives him
from
more-
being just another cruiserweight.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, that's kind of what the cruiserweight. I mean, if we're going to talk
They
about
build
the
him
cruiserweights
kind of a
quickly-
little bit separately from the other cruiserweights, so he
He
kind
did.
of has a little bit more of like
Well,
personality.
and we kind of have
that,
personality.
and he feels more separate than some of the cruiserweights are like just pre-packed, you know.
Well, what I was going to ask
Prepackaged.
is, since we're talking about cruiserweights and getting them over, and kind of segued into this, this is a way possibly to get Tozawa over with the mainstream crowd, the bigger crowd, right? Is that what the cruiserweights as a whole have been missing outside of Neville and Austin Aries?
Yes.
They really haven't connected to the audience on a
Yes.
character level like I thought they would.
Yeah.
Like, I thought the in-ring work over would get them over enough that the people would care who they were, but it really kind of hasn't worked that way. It's kind of almost been the opposite. The guys that they emotionally care about, for whatever reason, good or bad, hate them or love them,
Mhm.
the guys that they emotionally have a reaction to seem to be the guys that they actually pay attention to during the match. And then you hear the pops when they do something amazing in the match.
Right.
So, is that what the secret sauce that they're missing is? Is the character work, getting the characters
Yeah.
over more on Raw?
I think so.
Yeah, because what is there,
Hello?
what is the story other than two guys doing a wrestling show in a ring
Doing a
for
bunch of
205
flips, right?
Live? You
So-
know, there needs to be some sort of soap opera element to it.
I agree, to make people care.
Yeah.
So can the Titus brand backed Akira Tozawa be the face of the cruiserweights, you think? Is that realistic?
Well, me personally, I wouldn't do it with Akira Tozawa. The only reason I would is because him and Apollo have that background. But to me, Tozawa has enough of his own swag to be on
That-
his own.
Yeah.
I'll be the Titus Brown with a guy like Tony Nese or somebody that doesn't have as much swag or character on their own.
But the flip side to that is Tozawa has swag, so that's something that's attractive to Titus O'Neil.
True.
And he doesn't speak English as well. So he has swag, but he doesn't really speak English as well. So if they have if they're on a similar zone,
He
if they
can
have a
be their
similar
mouthpiece.
vibe, yeah, he can help Titus
that.
help sell
True
it,
that.
get it
Yeah.
over. And that's kind of the approach that I've been
I
looking
think
at.
Titus
Yeah.
is like amicability too, kind of makes the people he's representing look more tough. Like Apollo Crews, come on, he was looked like he wouldn't hurt a fly before he became heel, and now he's a little bit more.
Has that edge to him.
Yeah, he has an edge, and so I think
Dexter O'Neil has
Tozawa
that
has
too.
that too. We saw him in the street fight; he had it, and so he's going to bring. He's still going to have that edge. He's going to bring that edge, and then Titus is going to just kind of like be the goofy guy that is involved. But
Mr. O'Neil.
yeah. The goofy henchman, not technically a henchman,
Goofy
but
henchman.
you know what I'm saying.
But he's the manager.
Right?
Yeah.
Goofy henchman. Well, on that note, we'll move on from the goofy henchman and the Asian guy. The Drifter.
I didn't say that.
The Drifter was on Monday Night Raw again and got another segment. He was singing a song and Dean Ambrose came and interrupted. You're the big Drifter guy on the panel. Go ahead, let us know what you thought of the Drifter segment on Monday Night Raw.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't good.
It was good.
But
I
I
think
think
you'll bring away from good.
Yeah.
it's starting to. At first, I kind of liked the whole him walking around, not saying anything. Then they put him in the ring.
That was my favorite part of the whole
Yeah,
thing.
I was about to say.
I didn't like him in
the
NXT.
mysterious Drifter.
I
yeah.
actually liked the fact that he didn't talk. He wasn't a good guy or a bad guy.
And he just
kinda
floated,
showed up.
floated around.
And yeah, we talked about it. He kind of has this.
But
Now
he
he's the
has,
Jeff Jarrett.
but he
honky
has
tonk
more
man.
swag than
the Jeff Jarrett honky tonk man gimmick.
Where I
where
sing badly and I do a bad song
Yeah.
and it hardly rhymes about the town I'm in.
and the pandering, the heel pandering to every town. New Orleans.
So now
Lafayette is a bunch of Cajuns that need to be burned. Nah, man, it's boring and it's kind of cheesy. So stay away from that.
So on that note, is it good that Dean Ambrose is working with him? Is that going to help get him over with the
I
crowd?
think that's
I
what
don't
they're
know.
trying to. Actually,
I'm
Ambrose-
confused
No, Ambrose
because-
is kind of bulletproof
Because
though,
there's this
can't bring
weird
him
Miz
down.
Ambrose Drifter thing going on right now, and it's like, all
It
right.
really is. It really is kind of weird.
So
I
that's
think
what
I think this
confuses me
is
the
I
most.
think this is just trying to prolong the Miz and Ambrose
and the Drifter, well, what's the Drifter have to do with this then?
because because the Miz messed kind of interfered with their match.
All right.
So, I mean, I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of because Dean Ambrose was messing with him with the bear earlier. So the only thing he had to do was to interfere in his match with the
Tit for
Drifter.
tat, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only reason I can see why they're involving the Drifter in here
Okay.
or with Ambrose.
It gave Drifter a reason to get a clean win over Ambrose.
And I also noticed they called him Elias Sampson a lot this weekend, not just the Drifter.
To drift, really?
Corey,
Okay.
what do you? Oh my bad. What do you think of the Drifter?
he can keep drifting.
Right?
Keep
Drifting
on
away.
drifting down the road.
All right.
I'm a
so-
fan.
Okay. Well,
I'm not.
and on that note, moving on. I know one of the big things that's also been going on for our colleague here, Stevie Boy Smith, the Fashion Police, right? The Fashion Files. They did like a New Orleans episode this week, right?
I think so. Yeah, well, New Day showed up, right? Yeah, New Day showed up. And
No, that was the one last week, I think.
Was it?
Did they show up this week?
Yeah, because they wrestled with each other. Man,
No, the last one was where New Day tried to bribe the
I'm an
Fashion
episode
Police.
back, guys. I'm an episode back. I didn't watch that part, so
Wow.
so I take an L on that one.
And you're like the Fashion Police guy.
Yeah. I did. I watched. SmackDown. My big criticism
the face
is
that makes mistakes.
SmackDown.
The face that
Well,
makes mistakes.
SmackDown ran very long, even on Hulu this week. These guys advertised Charlotte versus Natalya, and it took me like an hour to get to the match, which is basically like all of SmackDown because it's an hour and 20 minutes on Hulu.
Well, most times they advertise a match is going to be.
They said coming up next, coming up soon, Charlotte versus Natalya. I waited the whole mediocre show. So
Wow. We just said it all kinds of
just
shots.
saying, SmackDown, you were a little long this week.
Okay,
An
well-
extra long tag team segment at the beginning. the segues in between. It was just kind of
And you
like,
You're a
just
raw
skipped.
guy, right?
You skipped over the fashion police then, huh?
I did because
Robert.
it was that. Yeah,
All right.
I skipped over my guys.
Is there anything else that we covered? We need to cover?
Well, what would you grade that Charlotte match?
Ooh, I've seen a really good Charlotte Natalia match before.
Yeah, that was over pretty quickly.
But
Or at what I thought was
for
pretty
the
quickly.
pedigree of Natalia, I think Natalia is one of the better workers in the women's division. Well,
I just need a grade.
Okay, I'll give it a 2.5 out of 5.
Okay. Sound like a D.
So, is there anything else that we need to cover? Raw, SmackDown, anything? In
How did you guys feel about that Bailey segment? How do you guys feel about Bailey's?
I like Bailey.
Her
but I
trend
kinda-
right now. It looks like she looked like she was going to be a real big star, and they're kind of like squashing it right now. She's getting undermined by like creative or something. It seems like.
Personally, I think they might have pushed her a little too far too fast, just because I think with Bailey, the magic in NXT was all in the build. And the
I
chase.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It was
A
natural.
slow build. It was a slow build. It was natural. It was like 2 years before she even was a legit title contender. Of like getting beat down by all the other four horsewomen, by getting beat down by everyone else that was there, and then she finally gets her moment. And even when she gets her moment, it was like adversity at every turn. I mean, is it going to be Nia Jax that beats her, and then finally Asuka shows up, and it's Bailey to me is always better facing adversity, being the underdog and fighting from under, because she's relatable, she's naturally likable, the kids like her. So you put her in peril, and it makes you want to see her do well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
So having her win,
Having her I agree. Having her just on top as
you
the
have her on
person.
top, exactly. You can't have her on top beating everybody.
It's about the chase.
Exactly. Well, for her at least. For her, some people work better from off top.
The champ is here!
And we're back. Sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulty, but we were talking about Bailey and just how I think it's better for her to be an underdog and just chase the title. So, is there anything else though that you guys wanted to talk about leading into Money in the Bank?
Not really.
No, just have a good Money in the Bank.
Just
So we talked about the Drifter, we talked about the Fashion Police, we talked about the Titus brand. So, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
We're going to get back to NXT and 205 Live next week. I just thought this week it'd be fun to talk about John Cena and kind of fit him into the show, especially because what does it mean he's going to be a free agent? So, we'll see. Next week we're going to get it back on track. But now this week, we're going to do our Match of the Week segment. So last time we met up, my man McGee here for I swear is the 5th time in a row got the Match of the Week pick.
If I get it this time.
And he picks Tyler Bate versus Pete Dunne, NXT TakeOver Chicago 2017. Pete Dunne finally wins the big one. My match of the year so far in WWE. So 5 out of 5 from me. What'd you think, Stevie boy?
I think we've graded it already, but yeah, I gave it a 5 out of 5, or at least a solid, very solid, 4.7 out of 5.
7 out of 4.
It wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect. I'm not Dave Meltzer and breaking my own rating system up.
Yeah, because what's the point of having
So,
1 through 5 anyway?
I was not 125% entertained or 150% entertained.
I was 100% entertained. Okay, Pat, my man, right? What do you think?
It was a pretty good match. They both went out there and put on a good show. Not the match of the year, but yeah.
Okay, good match. And then my man that picked it over here, McGee. What did you like about the match? Why did you pick the match? What did you think?
What brought me to this match initially was obviously the first match they had. Them being so young and having the spotlight and producing was just it was tremendous in my eyes. So you only have to sit there and watch the rematch. What else can they do? And it seemed to me even in the second one, it was just they pushed the bar even further. Even for them being so young, it was just you're sitting there putting on grown men matches, people that have been there for 4 years.
But these guys have been wrestling for 10 years, so this
this
is where they had their chance to
but
really show themselves.
And you also have 2 guys that are very close, very friendly.
Yeah,
And
that helps when you're friends to beat the crap out of you.
Yes, because we've talked about in this business, the closer you guys are, the harder you guys hit each other. And I mean, they went out there, and what I loved about it probably the most in this era of false finishes
The one
and multiple
finish?
finishes and stealing each other's
Yes.
finishes, one
Yeah,
time
one.
he pulled out one finishing move, and he teased it a couple times, but he hit it once, and when he did, it was done, and it was a hell of a match. So, great ring psychology, great build, great physicality, and just overall great. It had the fans literally jumping over the rails. So, amazing, unbelievable. Yeah, and I look forward to the next time we get to see Tyler Bate at an NXT, maybe even a WWE show. I mean, why not throw them on SummerSlam or something? Who
I think
knows?
you could do a special to do the.
Maybe Great
Well,
Balls of Fire.
I don't know. Keep WWE
Maybe.
separate from NXT right now.
I just think,
NXT. And
but to be fair,
the main roster.
the UK thing isn't that separate from NXT. I mean, could you not argue that?
No, I would. It is, but I feel like it's a better stage to put on because we've seen with the cruiserweights.
It's a better stage to put on NXT. I think
More
because
passionate
the caliber
fan base.
of fan.
Yeah.
I agree, but if they can put on a match of that caliber that they did at Chicago at SummerSlam,
I would
where
see
the world will be
I
watching,
should see no problem.
still in the show. It's 2 new stars. Boom, just that easy. But we can debate this all night. We're gonna get to the Pickle-matic right here. And since McGee here won the last one, we have everyone's name at least one time in the bucket in the Pickle-matic right here. And my man McGee right here is gonna
Pick
have
himself.
the
Hey, dude,
privilege-
if I pick myself,
if you pick yourself, we're taking your name out next time.
thankfully,
Go ahead.
It's too much pressure, man.
it ain't too. I'm watch.
Who is it?
He picked himself.
I told you.
Back to the Pickle-matic. McGee
Rigged. This is FIFA.
All of them has his name in it.
Right?
What did you do?
I'm gonna start doing that to a ribbon like that. We're not
Corian.
on.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Thank you.
You
thank
spelled
you.
Corian wrong.
Funny thing is, all of them say my name,
That's what
right?
All of them say shit.
But so it's my match of the week this week. I'm gonna pick in honor of The Undertaker, the greatest big man of all time, not just WWE but all time. I'm gonna pick one of his greatest matches. This is actually a personal favorite of mine because this is the match that actually. Well, before I say that, what did you think? What do you think the match picking is? No, go ahead. You over here reminding me and stuff. Go ahead.
WrestleMania 25 versus Shawn Michaels.
No, that's the greatest match
I
of
was
all
gonna
time.
say, he said one of them.
That's the greatest
Well,
match of
Triple
all
H
time.
match.
That's the greatest match
Mick
of all
Foley,
time.
Hell in a Cell.
Y'all don't need to see the great. Y'all ain't worthy of that.
Oh, wow.
The match that I'm gonna pick
Triple H.
for this evening is the match that got me back into watching pro wrestling within the last 5-6 years.
Triple H 2.
The Undertaker versus Triple H, WrestleMania 24, no holds barred. This is the match where, and I saw this after, all they did in the build-up was the Undertaker came out, interrupted Triple H, they didn't talk, he just pointed at the sign. One of the hardest hitting matches, especially in this era that I've seen. Tables, chairs, there might even have been blood, I don't remember, but it feels like there was. And this is the match, the infamous match, the Undertaker had to get carted off on the gator after the match because he couldn't make it back to his feet. So, Undertaker might have won the match, but Triple H won the war, right?
Right.
So, it's a really good match, hard hitting, it's worth it. You guys check it out. It's one of my favorites. I think it'll shut you up too. I know you thought I was going to pick I'm never picking that match for this. Y'all don't deserve it.
Perfect.
Y'all don't deserve it.
Perfect.
I mean, my
The match
favorite.
is perfect.
My favorite
The match
match.
is perfect.
My favorite match between Undertaker and Triple H is WrestleMania 17.
You always got to be a contrarian. It's a good one though, because I don't know how did Triple H hit him in the head with a sledgehammer and not kill him.
Everybody's favorite WrestleMania.
That is
Exactly.
the greatest WrestleMania ever. Well, 30 was good too, but 17.
But you got sentimental reasons for that.
You right. If I had to pick strictly, just 17 would probably be the best.
And it also involves Undertaker.
Undertaker everything, right? Oh, Undertaker everything. But yeah, that was the show tonight, guys. Check out our match of the week. And also, like, subscribe, follow, comment. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Snapchat, we're on Twitter. We're going to do our live stream this week too, you guys. So, at Champ Is Here Show on everything. At Champ Is Here Show. And you could even find us at Champ Is Here Show podcast if you throw us in your Google machine too.
Right?
At
So-
Champ Is Here Show.
At Champ Is Here Show.
That Champ Is Her show.
The strongest brand in the land.
Yeah.